All right, are you guys excited? All right, so let's bring out stars of Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List, Victoria Justice and Pearson Faudet, as well as the director, Kristen Hange.
Hey. Oh my God, that's a dog. Hi, guys. Awesome.
Welcome.
Madison.
Yeah. Hey, fancy seeing you here.
Fancy.
Yeah. All right, so let's kick this off. Kristen, why don't you tell us a little bit about, who you are and what you've done in the past, just so everybody gets a little bit more familiar with you.
Absolutely. So my name's Kristen Hange. I'm the director of the film. I do a lot of musicals. I directed Rock of Ages. Maybe some of you saw it. Maybe, okay.
And not a lot of Rock of Ages.
That's
guy.
My best friend right here. And so I come from a music background, and I love stories that are really influenced by music. And when I read the script, I just fell in love with it. And I thought it just hit my heart. And so I knew I had to make it. And then these two stepped in.
Yeah, these two, who some of you probably know, but guys, give us just a quick, reminder to everybody what you've been doing prior to Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List, or since then.
Me.
Take it away.
Okay, prior to Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List, I was nothing. That's not true. No, I'd done some movies and some TV shows, and I had a lot of fun, but this one has to be still my all-time favorite. And currently I'm on a show called The Bold and the Beautiful. Oh my God. Hey, we got one guy. That guy. This guy. You're my boy. That's right.
That's right.
And yeah, I've done a few after that and a few other films, and so yeah, you should go check it out. What about you?
So before Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List, I've been doing this for a while now. Yeah, I started out when I was 11, and my first, big break would be on Zoe 101. A little bit of a throwback. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Cool. And then after that, I got my own show on Nickelodeon called Victorious. Which was a lot of fun. And I did a movie called Fun Size. That was fun.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a few Fun Size.
That was funny. That was a great movie.
That is Woo.
And then what else? What else am I doing right now?
Candy.
Oh, I did a show on Eye Candy. Yeah, MTV.
It was scary.
Eye Candy.
Why didn't you guys cheer like that for me?
They're in school during Bold and the Beautiful. That's it.
That's true.
It's tough to DVR soaps. You'll never catch up. It's okay.
And so I have this movie September 18th exclusively on iTunes, which I'm very excited about. And then so that's pretty much it. I'll stop talking now.
So, Kristen, why don't you explain just sort of a brief synopsis of the movie so people can get a little bit more acquainted, stuff that they didn't necessarily know or catch from the trailer?
Sure. So Victoria plays Naomi, and her best friend Eli grew up right next door to each other their whole lives. So they're like a constant in each other's lives. And you have a best friend who can finish all your sentences. You have all the same inside jokes. You have all the same taste in music. They're inseparable. Yes, they're inseparable. They cannot live without each other. And Eli is her gay best friend. The only problem is that she is in love with him. That no matter how hard she tries, she just can't stop her heart from feeling real romantic feelings for him. Now, together, the two of them have this list they've had forever, which is whenever they have a crush on someone, they put them on this list. They call the no kiss list, which means neither of us can kiss this person because it might end our friendship. You know what I mean? So it'd be like if we went to a party and you kissed him or I kissed him, it could cause a fight between us, so we just will never kiss one of these people. So what happens in the movie is Victoria's character Naomi has a boyfriend, and Eli, he kisses him. But he was never on the list. But
does your boyfriend really need to be on the no kiss list?
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
I rest my case now.
He wouldn't have kissed back.
So it causes a fight of epic proportions. And the question is, will their friendship ever recover?
And that, we don't know yet. You have to watch the movie. So why don't we go to a clip to talk more and sort of explain what the no kiss list is. And you guys get to meet one of my favorite characters, Gabe. He's quite hot, so let's get into that.
Gabriel.
Hello.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong? How many of you guys have, felt like you deserved or needed a no kiss list with your best friend? Just two of you, you're
These guys
all lying.
right here.
You're all lying because I know I have. And I think, we're typically used to doing them with our same-sex friends, right? But now everybody's a little bit more gay friendly, which we all are, and you got to be a little bit more careful. It's tricky territory. So,
is.
have you guys ever felt like you
free-for-all.
needed a no kiss list for any of your friends? I know you don't have one, but have you felt like you should have one?
I don't currently have a no kiss list, but I think like during middle school years, no kiss list would probably help save a
middle
lot of
school.
friendships.
Especially
I think
with
there would be a
girls.
lot of girls that would still be talking to this day.
Pearson, what about you?
Oh yeah,
Do guys do that though?
we have bro code.
Yeah.
You guys know
Bro
this?
code.
Yeah.
Bro code.
Bro
right?
code.
You don't
Bro.
like if your bro is like, hey yo, she's pretty cute, right?
Yeah,
It's
bro.
like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Fall
Bruh,
back.
bruh. We just
He
don't.
knows.
We
You
don't.
fall
It's off
back.
limits. It's off limits.
Yeah.
Right. So Naomi and Eli are clearly really codependent. They're like obviously besties. What do you think it is that makes Eli betray her in such a way? What do you think?
The heart wants what the heart wants.
Heart wants what it wants?
Selena Gomez said it best.
You heard it here first. I mean, Pearson, you obviously played Eli, so
Right.
you would be maybe a great person to answer this. Like,
The expert.
what is it about Eli's personality? Tell us about Eli. Like, who is he? Why would he do this to Naomi? Talk to us.
Eli is the guy at the party who starts the party, right? Okay, he's your bestie. That's like, boom, the party started now that Eli's here. He's just such a fun, like, kind of butterfly, social kind of guy that just is going around. He's just doing life, and he loves life. And sometimes I just don't think that he's aware that his actions are causing pain to others. And he saw something pretty, and he wanted to touch it and kiss it and
So, okay.
see if it liked him back.
And then Vic, Naomi is like kind of the counterpart, right?
Yes.
She's his best friend. Talk to us about Naomi. Like, who is she? What's her personality? Give us some insight.
Naomi is also, I would say, the life of the party in her own right. She's a lot of fun. She likes to have a good time. She's a little bit sassy. But at the end of the day, when you meet her in this film, she's going through a really hard time in her life. Her parents have just split up. Her and Eli are freshmen at NYU, and it's always, hey, two NYUers, that's exciting. So her and Eli it's always been like them two together, and they've kind of always been in this bubble, and Naomi is really safe in that bubble. And so when they start, these new experiences at their new school, and Eli starts branching out and is not quite making as many plans with her and is kind of doing his own thing, that really starts to freak her out. And she is already in such a vulnerable place that it kind of, she kind of has to get it all together, and everything kind of feels like it's falling apart for her.
Yeah.
True.
And I think, so another major character of this movie is New York City, right?
Yes.
So Kristen, why don't you kind of like, what made you like, was the book already in New York, or like what was,
So the book was set in New York. It's the same book writers that also wrote Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, right? Yeah, they're amazing.
Great
and
story.
they love to write about New York, and they write about New York so viscerally. So I read the original book, and everything was about these two characters owning Manhattan and kind of owning the village like it was their ground, like the whole thing was their clubhouse. And so I really wanted to capture that feeling of this is our city, and we own this city. And then for me personally, I grew up in California, and I always felt like I was a little girl dreaming of New York, like one day. And then so the first time I came here, I was like, it's magical. And so I always had that feeling of New York being this like really magical, really exciting place. And I wanted you to be able to feel that in the film, that New York made you feel like you were alive, and that anything was possible.
Like, what are some
Yeah.
of, we see a lot of the sort of iconic West Village landmarks like Washington Square Park, that kind of thing. Like, what are some of you guys' New York, like, must-haves, must-dos? Give us, like, one each. Ooh. Vic, go first.
Ooh, a New York must-do. They're actually really close to, right next door to where I was living when we were filming this movie. There's like this little Spanish restaurant that I love. It's called Cafe Español, I believe.
Have you guys been there?
Okay, so yeah,
Cafe.
I love
Is it
that
Cafe
place. I swear, the best sangria, best tostones. I love it.
Latin girl likes her España.
That's right.
I guess for me,
Oh, and the bacon wrap dates. Get the bacon wrap dates.
jeez,
Sorry, I couldn't keep that in.
bacon. Bacon makes everything better. Let's see. I honestly, I was only here for the filming of this, but I think my favorite thing to do was I would take out my skateboard and I would skate in one direction for about 30 minutes. Didn't know where I was going. I'd stop at a restaurant and I'd go eat somewhere. And New York has so many restaurants, and you just can go anywhere and eat, and it's all good. So I think that's like a must-do. I don't know if it's all good, but most of it was good.
And then Kristen, what about you?
My must-do would be Central Park. I love Central Park. I love that no
Yes.
matter how many times you've been to Central Park, you can still discover something new. And there's a whole scene in the movie where Victoria's character, Naomi, goes to Central Park and sees something she's never seen before. So the park is the park. You can't, it's so romantic.
Yeah.
It is.
And then so for you guys in acting in this, like obviously, Vic, you might be a little bit like Naomi in a certain way. I mean, I obviously know you differently than other people do, but you are similar to her in some ways and different than her in other ways. Like how did you have to draw on anything specifically for inspiration or to sort of become Naomi, the Naomi that you wanted to portray? Because it's obviously different than Tori Vega, let's be serious, right? Like she's not...
Yeah, Naomi's definitely different from Tori Vega. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I just, in this film, I had to really explore a lot more emotionally, and I get to show a lot more depth in this movie than I really ever have before. So I guess to prepare for the role, I just did some backstory for the character, and I don't know, I mean, we're similar in some ways because I feel like she's, in a vulnerable time in her life, like I was saying, and she's going through a lot of changes. She has to grow up. She's kind of becoming an adult, and I'm really I'm a little bit older than she is. I'm 22, but I feel like I'm at a very similar point in my life. So I can relate to that aspect of like how difficult change is and how emotional that can be, and having to rise to the occasion.
That's awesome. And then Pearson, you're obviously, well, I don't know if you're obviously, but you are straight and you play a gay male. For me personally, like when I met you and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a straight, like macho, handsome guy. Like you're playing this, you're playing this gay guy. You kiss him. Like that's not what you do in your personal life.
Right.
So were there certain things that did you give yourself like a pep talk where you got this, you're into dudes for today? Like what did you do to get jazzed up to like be Eli?
Well, I mean, I think the big thing that I did was I got to sit down two of like my mentors back in LA, and they're both gay and they're older, and I got to kind of get their history about what it was like to come out and the different ideas and philosophies that they had to work through, and then I fell in love with these ideas that I interpreted for Eli. And once I kind of fell in love with that, I was able to kind of like step into the character a lot more easily. And, it's cool for Eli's character because he really embraces who he is, and he's very unashamed and just unabashed about like being him 110%. But I think it was my first day on set, or like day 2 or 3. I had just met the guy that I was about to be. We were love interests like halfway through the script at this point. And I just met him like 5 minutes before. I was like, oh, hey man, I'm gonna kiss you in 5 minutes. How's it going? And so then we made out, and that was it.
You guys did a really good job.
Thank you.
I did. It's
And
very
then so
convincing.
for you, like directing these, young actors that are playing roles that they've probably never played before. Like how was that for you as a director? Did you find it challenging at times? Like what were challenges that you faced in directing the film?
Well, I felt that both Victoria and Pearson were really brave. Like as Victoria was saying, she has to go to these places that are really emotional and very intimate. And I felt like I was so impressed by how willing she was to really go inside and really tap, some of these fears and to let them be seen, because I always feel like truth is a thing that you can feel, and so when an actor is giving you their truth, you can feel it, and that's the only way it resonates with our heart. So I just remember all throughout the shoot just thinking that you were being so brave.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Pearson. Pearson is also so great because the other boy who was also who played his love interest was also straight, and I thought Pearson made him actually feel at ease so quickly, and he did for you as well, and there was such a natural affinity that the two of you had
Yeah.
for each other. Do you know?
Such a sweet guy.
Yeah, such a sweet guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan Ward.
Ryan Ward.
Shout out to Ryan Ward.
Come on,
Yeah.
shout out.
Love Ryan
Shout out to
Ward.
my boy.
But I felt like that one of the wonderful things that Pearson does as Eli, because Eli's like this too, is makes everybody feel good. You know, like just
Definitely.
naturally shows up and is very selfless in what he's giving the people that he's working off of. And in doing so, there's an energy return, and you can feel it, and it becomes really palpable, and you can feel that chemistry. And so, yeah, you do good.
That makes me feel good.
And there's like, you guys have to see this movie, seriously. There is like such raw emotions that even like adults who are in their 50s, they watch this and they get so emotional because it evokes like stuff that you went through when you were at the time in your life when you didn't know who you are and who your people were. And these two are like unreal. You really have, like, it's seriously, they're so good. And I feel like Naomi really, and Eli does too, but Naomi really sort of goes through a huge character arc, like from who she is in the beginning. You guys saw in the trailer, they're like running around and, you know, making it rain with starbursts and all kinds, like everything's awesome in their own bubble. And then you see like Eli sits down and he throws her stuff on the table and there's tears. Like, talk to us about that. I'm sure everybody in this room has either gone through that or is going through that or definitely will go through that at some point in their life. Like, tell us more about sort of her journey and all of that.
Tell you more about Naomi's journey as far as like
how she changes and what she does to change and why she has to change.
Well, how she changes. Well, I think in the beginning of the film, she's a little immature, you know? She's definitely very codependent with Eli. Like I said, like they have all these rules together. They have their no kiss list. It's almost like it's like her little fantasy world in her own way. And also she's living a fantasy because he's gay and she really wants to have this romantic relationship with him, but like deep down she knows like it's never gonna happen. And so I think there's just like a lot of truths in life that she's kind of just pushing down a little bit, that she's not ready to face and not ready to like step up to the plate and actually deal with. And that's one of the reasons why I loved playing this character, is because like there's like so much depth there, and there's so much, it's such a great character arc, and you really get to see like who the person she is in the beginning, and really like how her and Eli both grow as people and mature together, and so that was really, really fun to play and challenging at the same time.
And then one way she changes is she tries to make friends besides Eli.
She does.
Yeah.
She tries to branch out. She doesn't
Like
really
one
want
of her friends at school. She like,
Yes.
doesn't want to.
Yeah, she doesn't want to. I don't want to like give too much away or whatever, but Monique Coleman is also in the movie. She's you might know her from High School Musical, and she's great. She's awesome in the film. But yeah, she doesn't really want to branch out and make other friends. She just wants it to stay like her and Eli always and forever, and it's just not the way that life is. So.
And on that note, we'll go to the next clip, which is sort of on this like area that we're talking about. So yeah, so that's her making her efforts.
Yeah, and she really does, like, she grows to. Robin is a great girl, and she's never, like she says in this scene in the film, like all of her life, there's never really been a girl quotient. It's always been her and Eli. So it's really cool to see her for the first time, like having that girl talk. She's never done that before, so it was fun.
Yeah, and I feel like there's this whole arc that you'll see in the film of Naomi and Eli almost like kind of living in the beginning when we see them in like how Victoria said, like in a fantasy world, like very much like in this everything's okay and very on the surface.
Yes.
And then when stuff starts to go down, they break open. and they really I feel like it's always like the Velveteen Rabbit. They become real, you know, and that's what you see in the movie is you see them become more human.
Yeah, definitely.
So, why, like, what is one thing about this movie that you guys think will draw people in? Like, what's one thing? I know there's many things, but what's like one thing that you think will like make people be like, oh my God, yes, I feel this, or I get this, or I've seen this, or just all of it? Pearson, why don't you start?
All right. I think the big thing for me is the unrequited love. You know, like we talked about it a minute ago, but it's that moment that you're in love with somebody and you put all that effort into it and you're like, I will be your best friend no matter what. And if you want to kiss me, that's okay too. But I think we've all been there, and that's it for me. Yeah, definitely.
And then Vic, what about you?
I think a lot of people will relate to the idea of having your best friend and then that person kind of moving on without you. I know I've been through that before, and it's really tough. So I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that.
And then Kristen?
I would say, you know, all of us react so strongly to change, you know, and change it invades your life, and you're like, no, stop, life, don't change, please, and eventually you have to surrender and say, this doesn't feel good, but okay, and then oftentimes some really beautiful things come out of that. So I think that message is very universal.
Definitely.
And honestly, like, you guys should all go see it. Or not go see it, you should all get it. It's going to be exclusively on iTunes Friday at midnight, and then 9 Pacific time if any of you are in California on Friday. But for now, let's open it up to some
Oh wait, can I say one thing about that really quick?
Yes.
I just want to say, if you pre-order it on iTunes right now, before September 18th, 10% of the proceeds are going to the Trevor Project, which is an amazing organization. It's the largest organization for suicide prevention and crisis intervention for LGBTQ youth, and it's an amazing cause, and it's something we should all be supporting. So
order it now.
Yeah, they do really great work, and I mean, then you get it, you know, you're pre-ordered, you don't have to worry about it, you don't have to worry about forgetting. So
Boom.
why not?
Look at that.
There you go.
And you give back.
Logic.
Okay, so now we're gonna open it up to some Q&A.
Hi, Victoria.
Hi, how are you?
So what's it? Good. How are you? So what's it like working with your real life boyfriend?
Well, when we were doing the movie, there was nothing romantic happening. Yeah, we were just like, we were friends. We'd never met before.
Yeah.
And, but we had a really good time. Like Kristen was saying, Pearson has like this quality. He's really good at like making everyone feel comfortable and making everyone feel like a friend of faux days.
Come on.
And so we had a really good time, you know, just whiling out in New York City. I can't believe I just said whiling out, but it happened.
Cheer.
Hi guys. How did you like filming the movie? Like, was it easy or was it hard to like film it? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Just
no.
asking.
It was both.
Yeah, definitely. There was days that it was like super, super fun and just light and easy, and we got to improv and goof around, and then there's the hard days, Jaffa Cafe. It's
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Oh.
Hi guys, how was it filming on set? What was the atmosphere like?
What was the atmosphere like on
Yeah.
set? It was really great. I mean, like, Kristen is such an amazing director and an amazing person, and she makes everyone feel really comfortable. And she really is like an actor's director. She's like super patient and will like talk to you about like what's going on in the scene and
your life.
yeah, and your life. And she's not one of those directors that's gonna like scream at you if you're not doing it right, or you know, make you do 100 takes. So it was she made it a very like chill, awesome, open environment.
Hi. If you could play any other character in Naomi and Eli's No Kiss list, who would it be?
Great question. Great question.
Do you want to go first?
Me? Oh, I think Bruce 1 is my other favorite character in Naomi and Eli's No Kiss list. He is hilarious. Oh my God.
Bruce 1's really funny.
Bruce one's
Yeah.
great.
I think I would probably play, what's the dog's name? I would play the dog.
She'd play the dog.
Cutie Pie?
Cutie Pie! How did I
Boom.
forget? Yeah.
Clap for me.
Yes.
I would play Cutie Pie.
There it is.
Also, this is a little irrelevant, but I went on Twitter and asked if anybody wanted to write any fan messages for you, and I collected a few.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
So I wanted to
That's
give it
rad.
to you.
You're
That's so
rad.
sweet. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh my God, thank you. Aw. Thank you. Oh my gosh, they're so sweet. Thanks.
No problem.
Aw, that's
Awesome.
adorable. Thank you, Lily. Aw.
That's so cute.
Hi, my question is to Kristen. I was wondering, how did you manage, to escape from the cliches of romantic comedy since you guys were filming in New York? And if you think on that while you're filming the movie, I don't know.
Well,
Also
I feel,
great question.
That's a good question. I feel like that all goes back to the story. I feel like the writers of the original book were very clear about wanting to write something to them that felt real and that wasn't just traditional out-of-the-box romantic comedy. I mean, it's a very complicated situation that these characters are in, and I think that that's what we were interested in, is showing how messy sometimes relationships can be and how complicated it can be to be close to someone. As beautiful as love is, it can be
Brutal.
brutal. It can,
Yucky.
and we've all had those experiences. So we wanted to show the whole thing, this whole spectrum.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say I love you guys.
Yeah.
I have one quick question. What are your guys' relationship like off the set?
I think everybody's become really good friends. We created
Yeah.
a really, really tight family, actually. It's been fun. I don't know, you guys expand on that.
Yeah.
Relationships offset. Yeah, I mean, we all love hanging out.
Yeah.
We're all good friends.
Yeah, no, we go to dinner and we celebrate each other's birthdays and such.
Yeah. I actually don't know anybody else as far as crews go that I still do that with.
I know. Yeah,
true,
that's
right?
really true.
No one.
We've kept in touch really, really, really well.
Yeah.
That's actually where I met Kristen, was at Victoria's birthday. So
Yeah.
they're all still, and even other people from the movie too that
Yeah.
aren't
VC,
here. That
where are you at?
John just had to slip
John.
out.
Oh,
He had a
bye,
meeting
John.
tonight, but
Yeah, sad day.
Hi, Naomi.
Hi, Miss, what's your name?
My name's Madison.
Madison, lovely. What's your question?
Okay. What was your most challenging scene in your movie?
I don't know, the Jaffa Cafe scene.
Yeah, that's the top runner for me.
Yeah, where Naomi and Eli, things finally come to a head and they are doing their official breakup, as Naomi likes to call it. And that was just it was a really, really emotional scene. And for my character, there weren't a lot of words. I just kind of had to suppress a lot, and Eli was doing most of the talking, but inside my character Naomi is just dying and she wants him to say something so that she doesn't have to let go, but it's just she's not going to say anything because her pride is getting in the way, and it's kind of excruciating for her.
Thank you.
I think the crazy part about that too was the Jaffa Cafe was actually still open, and there were customers walking through as we
Yeah.
were screaming at each other. And it was the most awkward thing sometimes because you suddenly become aware when you hear order in the background. But it made it really very real.
They're pots and pans.
yeah. I mean, we were shooting indie, style, so it's it made it super real. But what's so funny, even though they say it was the most challenging day, I remember leaving that day and feeling like I was flying. It was exhilarating because their performances were so good, and it was just that feeling of oh, we did that, we nailed that. I just remember feeling so happy that night.
Hi, what areas in New York did you film in?
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, you take this one.
Mostly the Village here, all around NYU, because they were students at NYU. We primarily shot here, which was so fun. We shot in Washington Square Park all the time, and it was a blast.
Yeah, it was so
And then,
beautiful.
as I said, we did shoot a scene in Central Park, and then there's some stuff, a lot of interiors too, that we shot in Brooklyn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you guys so much for coming
Yeah.
and chatting with everyone about the movie. You guys, again, a reminder, get it on iTunes, pre-order it, give to the Trevor Project, and get this awesome movie. I promise you're going to love it and you will not regret it.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you so much.
So appreciate